I am just so happy to see some of the Miss Universe Philippines delegates in an out-of-town location last weekend. I'm so honored and privileged to be one of the very few pageant media outlets invited for the follow-up sponsored event of Aqua Boracay last month. This time, held in Tagaytay, Cavite naman, for a tour of its newest luxury hotel being erected, which will have its grand opening later this year. So, as such, only the top 20 Aqua Angels were invited from the side of the girls. And we all had a great time touring the whole thing with a lavish dinner feted to us later that night. The highlight of which is the mini Q&A, which we did during dinner, where one would be declared the winner, the ultimate winner at the end of the night with the title of Miss Arete. Probably an ambassadorship award coming from the owners and developers of Aqua Boracay. So out of the 20, only 16 were present to attend this event as the 4 remaining ladies were reportedly sick. And so totoo lang guys, I really wanted to share more of our tour experience here in this vlog, but just the same, I decided to do it na lang separately, maybe after the pageant, para we can more focus on the much important topic na ano nga bang mga assessment ko sa mga ladies na nagmukbang nung gabing yon. So I know Alexi Brooks already won this round with all of us pageant media acting as the questioners and the judges at the same time. So for this content, I won't be ranking them anymore and just share with you guys my thoughts on how these girls perform in that segment from my point of view. So here it is. So I will do this alphabetically. So let's start with Kimberly Street from the Filipino community of Australia. Oh, I love this girl so much. So when she got me to question her in this round, I was super kilig and happy. Siyempre, ako ba naman na magsa-start, di ba? Ng whole proceeding, so I have to start with a bang. So I asked her about how a pageant contestant like her can still create impact in the world, knowing how pageantry's popularity has been on decline. And I love how she answered it based on her current Miss Universe Philippines journey so far. Na uplifting, transformational, empowering, and inspiring. And so she used all these keywords to illustrate her answer. But the way she just sounds in expounding this answer needs more highlight. As feeling ko talaga, she sounds more queenly and humble as you listen to more of it. Kasi di ba guys, given her multicultural background and beauty, it is so easy for this lady to act like a diva on stage, but she does not. Instead, she acts so humble and imbibes all the positive traits of a Filipina queen. But part of me wishes, though, that she could have given a specific example of it. Probably cite a single activity or experience that she has had in MUP so far na tumatak sa kanya. But then again, probably with a time limit, she probably decided not to do it. But other than that, I really love her so much. I'm telling you guys, she could be the ultimate dark horse of the competition. And now let's go to the next lady, who is Tara Valencia from Baguio City. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe about the improvement we all saw from Tara's Q&A performance during this event. So she was asked about picking something. She was asked to pick one of these 3 things: unlimited time, unlimited money, or unlimited knowledge. And so she chose unlimited time and reasoned about it. I thought, hearing her answer, she acquitted herself very well. Although, yun nga lang, it kind of sounded confusing during the start of her answer, especially when she mentioned about cherishing every moment. But the more I think about it, it probably could be understood as having the freedom to appreciate every moment without a time limit or time schedule preventing her from enjoying every moment of her life. Diba? Makes sense. And so with more time, according to her, she could make an impact pa to people by being a role model. But the way she articulated it was so impressive because she sounded quite cerebral all of a sudden, especially towards the end of her statement. Yung sinabi niya, because the only way to spark change is to have these real stories and experiences which could only be determined by time. Wow. Nagamit pa niya yung choice pa niyang word sa dulo. 'Di ba? I know there are some bits and parts there that still need to be cohesive, but I can't help but notice the improvement in her Q&A skills. Mas confident nang sumagot si Tara, and comparing her answer from how she was at the start of this edition, may noticeable difference talaga. And I applaud her for her tenacity to improve. So I think this is the magic of Tara. The more we put her down in this department, the more she keeps surprising us. Ramdam ko talaga, ilalaban talaga ito ni Tara hanggang dulo. And now let's go to the next lady, and she is Stacy Gabriel from Cainta, Rizal. I think no one can really dispute the fact that when it comes to Q&A, she is really the queen of unrehearsed answers. So she was asked about some things in the past that she will never go back to again, and something that she would also like to bring back at the same time. So if you analyze her answers here, she had 2 questions to answer. And so she still never failed to answer those with her eloquence and brilliant storytelling skills. Now you can really see this is her alley, as she loves to talk. And I just commend her for instantly thinking of instances in the past to fulfill these questions with a very fluid answer, as she ultimately gave it all back to her lola, who influenced her so much in life. And I also noticed towards the end kung napakinggan nyo, how she already acted or sounded like a Miss Universe contestant, especially when she incorporated those words, my country, as she ended her answer. Wow, talk about prophesizing her dream as early as now. Now let's go to Diam Mate from Cavite naman. Hearing her answer, I am so impressed with her Q&A performance here. First of all, may I just say she also got one of the 2 most difficult questions of the night, but she tackled it head on. So she was asked about ethical considerations in implementing the guidelines of AI in various industries, and I thought she did well by suggesting to make AI developers like humans by prioritizing data privacy, among many other things. And I thought she understood her question and was well versed with this very relevant issue. Kasi diba, as we approach to a more advanced society, we really have to be mindful of our security and safety at the same time as a citizen. So she really gave a very confident opinion about it. Diba? So we hardly feature Dia in all our hot picks so far, but it's so refreshing to hear her insights. So kaya napapabilib ako na, wow, this girl is so well-spoken. And now, let's go to Tiffany Hansen from Cebu. So, she was asked naman a simple but a very tricky question about knowing when to quit among pageant veterans making a career out of pageantry. And so, for sure, nung narinig niya tong question na to, she was able to relate with it. Napansin nyo, given how tricky the question was, as it presented in a negative manner, when is it the time to quit? When is the right time to quit? It could really get into your nerves, but Chris did not go that way and sounded right instead in every word that she said. I know she is here to inspire, and so that's why she went on to list down the many positive things of what pageantry could offer beyond their marital status or age. And I know some of you may say that she did not answer her question directly, but in a way, she indirectly answered her question by listing down those positive things. So this is what really Chris did. Throw it back with a positive answer and no longer dwell on the negative. Siguro, if there's one thing that I would nitpick is that I wish she could have ended her statement stronger by saying, it's never, so there's no reason why we should stop quitting in achieving our dreams. Di ba? Para mas sapul ang effect. What do you think? So, next is Alexi Brooks from Iloilo City. So she was asked about how she can promote critical thinking, empathy, and tolerance for a more compassionate society. And I thought she hit bullseye when she said in teaching love and humility and related to her cyberbullying experience that she gets from social media, given her background as a Filipina with Black descent. And I thought, wow, she really ended strong with that line of seeing other people for what they can offer in their hearts instead. I thought she was very calm and eloquent in answering it very authentic, very charismatic at the same time. I'm really blown away by her communication skills. Very Lara Duta. And now, let's go to Alexandra Rosalez from Laguna. So she was asked naman about the meaning of life, of how one should live one's life to be more fulfilling. And I must say, I'm really amazed at the improvement of her Q&A skills. Maybe it helped that she is a college professor now, so she sounded more confident and calmer now. Alam mo, as I think of her answer and digest it, si Alexandra talaga yung example na who has grown so much from life experiences that she went through, benefiting from the wisdom of all of it. And so hearing her answer is probably a summation of those life experiences, and I'm so pleased with what I heard. Ang ganda ng sagot niya. Every word was coming from her heart. So I cannot help but be impressed. She really slayed it. So well done, Alexandra. And now let's go to Mary Ysol from the Filipino community of Miami. So she was asked about the qualities of the next MUP title holder should she be a judge. And so she listed down so many qualities and related it to her profile given her background as a very successful self-made businesswoman and domestic abuse survivor. I thought she sounded so relatable there, and I can't help but notice at the same time how she was just smiling the whole time, probably of being so overwhelmed of how she is just grateful to have made it so far. So, alam mo yun, nararamdaman mo talaga na there is this air of gratitude in the way you feel from her demeanor that is so giving. So, yun nga lang, if I were to nitpick though, perhaps she could have tried to reorganize or restructure her thoughts or answers so it could have sounded more impactful. Because, you know, she listed so many things. She listed down so many things. So maybe she could have arranged it in such an organized manner given the time limit. And now let's go to Kayda Jean Carter next. She's from Filipino community of Northern California. Grabe guys, the promise of this lady to get in top 5 talaga with her eloquence and clear diction when she was asked about her thoughts in combating fake news and misinformation, especially on social media. Because when you listen to her talaga, she has this air of humility that will really make you want to listen to her. The way she sounds is so calm and confident that even if she's talking something complex or cerebral, you will really still listen to her. And so I can really equate that to being so queenly with her answers. However, though, I have to admit there were some fillers or unnecessary sentences that she can still omit to make it a more concise and impactful answer. I think it's best that if she will really tackle the issue head on her first sentence in terms of what it's all about and probably list down her solutions to create more impact afterwards. Ano sa tingin niyo? And now let's go to Selena Antonio Reyes from Pasig. You know, I was really stunned with Selena's answer when she was asked about her thoughts on pageantry degrading women in general. And she related it right away with her background as a mom. So unang sentence pa lang niya, palaban na siya about it when she said, you know, if pageantry is degrading, then why are we coming out here braver and more empowered or stronger? So I like that. I like how she resonated well with this question. And so she went on to say more things to drive her point, to drive her answer. And I thought it was a great answer because you can really feel that it came from the heart. And as a rule, diba, if one speaks from the heart, then you can never go wrong because you are owning your truth. And that's what she exactly did here. Siguro, if I would nitpick her answer now, I just wish that more on probably the technicalities of how she delivered it. Now, I hope that she could also speak with more conviction to sound more impacting and probably smile more to make it appear that she doesn't look nervous. But other than that, you know, she really did well. In fact, she was part of everyone's top 5 after the show. So well done, Selena. Napahanga mo kami dito. Now we go to Atisa Manalo from Quezon Province. So I had a privilege or fortune of asking her the question which was all about cancel culture. And I love how her answer was so spot on and direct to the point. So she is not in favor of it. And I love how she expounded her answer, how she is not in favor of it by still believing in the power of love and humility in teaching, in teaching that particular offender to mend his ways. And I just love how Atisa really understood this question as the context of cancel culture, diba, stems from social media. And she never forgot to incorporate those words along with mental health in justifying why we shouldn't easily banish or ostracize people that easily because of differing views. So her answer, if you listen to it, is very queenly and universal. Na it stems from love and understanding, which how beauty queens should be and should act, diba? It's pro-peace, alam mo yun, it doesn't alienate or judge, it helps and understands, and I just love how Atisa ran away with this. It really has all the qualities of a winning answer. And I think as early as now, we can really say that Atisa has really improved in leaps and bounds when it comes to Q&A. So wala na talaga akong masasabi except, Atisa, wow. And now, we go to Cyril Payuma next. She's from Pampanga. I really have to applaud Cyril for acquitting herself very well here. Admittedly, she got one of the two hardest questions of the night. So she was asked about how she can strike a balance between our traditional values and several sensitive issues like LGBT rights and reproductive health. And I thought she handled herself well here. She handled herself very well here. Because to be honest, the question was so difficult and was laden with so many highfalutin words that you have to really listen to the question again to really get the full gist of it. And for me, it was really hard, and so it was understandable that Cyril was visibly nervous in answering it kasi reflected sa mukha niya tsaka sa body language niya. However, I just love how she stuck to her core by mentioning respect and understanding in navigating this question. And I just love also how she used the words ally, respect, and understanding in breaking down her answer. And she made it through. So for a very complex question which touched upon globalization, LGBT rights, women's rights, she really acquitted herself very well and sounded right towards the end. So dito ko talaga mapapatunayan at masasabi na talagang palaban talaga tong si Cyril with all the things coming her way. Rumampa ng may sakit noong runway challenge, sumagot to the best of her ability sa napakahirap na tanong without losing her poise. So sa tingin ko, kayang-kaya na talagang makipagbardagulan sa May 22. And now we go to Eunice Desa from San Pablo, Laguna. Para ako nabitin talaga sa sagot niya when she answered that she would like to incorporate another segment in the competition instead of removing anything, and it had something to do with her advocacy. Parang nabitin lang ako. Obviously, she was nervous, so she was no longer able to exactly tell what segment that she would add in relation to the advocacies for the pageant. Diba? So next, we go naman to Josephine Pas from Talisay, Cebu. I honestly got confused when I heard her answer. She was asked about what life is all about. Free will ba or predetermined by fate? So she chose the latter but wasn't able to fully expound on it, especially towards her last sentence of being positive in order to get what we want. I thought she kind of contradicted her answer there. But for sure, it was really the nerves that got the best of Josephine here, and it was really visible. But for whatever it's worth, guys, you know what? I'm pretty sure Josephine is taking this all in as part of her growth or learning curve. Na I really see the potential in her to be a future pageant title holder. And so I would really love for her to take this all and improve as part of her experience. And now let's go to Christy McGarry from Taguig. Wow, this lady is such a natural. Very commanding with her presence as well. And so when she was asked by Luis Porteles about the most valuable lesson she has learned in the pageant so far, she talked about her fellow candidates' substance, intelligence, and passion. And I just love how I heard all of her answer. Kung napansin nyo, she had this style of answering here in laying down her answer. She didn't go straight to the point right away, but tried to lay down muna the foundation of her answer in describing and even complimenting her fellow sisters' cultural backgrounds and attributes. And I think it was a nice strategy because we got to appreciate Christy's natural ability and eloquence given her multicultural background. So everything sounded smooth. It didn't really feel much of a Q&A but more conversational. And so everything flowed so smooth and natural. Para lang talaga ako nakikipagkwentuhan dito si Christy. So I really love it. And now, finally, we go to Christina Chalk from the Filipino community of UK. So she was asked about how our government should prioritize disaster preparedness and response. And I love how she explained our country's demographic and economy, which would be affected by all these natural disasters coming our way all the time. And as someone living from the UK, I also love how she included her mom's province in her answer, Pangasinan, to be more relatable to the audience. As admittedly, as she has never grown up here, so in a way, her answer is also kind of a tribute to her mom who has really raised her so well. I know it's so easy for us to dismiss her as a non-Filipino given her looks and accent, but I really applaud Christina for still being knowledgeable about a lot of social issues, about a lot of our social issues here, and how she related this issue, this particular question, to the basic unit of our society, which is our family, and how it could all affect us in the grassroots level. And so listening to her, wow, she really sounded like a spokesperson already working for the government. So she is that persuasive here, but at the same time, congenial with her tone. So I really thought she really nailed her question here. So there you go, guys. What do you think about my assessment of these ladies during the Miss Arete Q&A in Tagaytay? Does it match yours? Well, let me know your thoughts down below so I could see where you guys are coming from. All right, guys. Until my next video. Bye.